We can't change the cards we're dealt, just how we play the hand.
For you guys coming, being here right now. And I don't feel like it's a coincidence that certain people make it. Just like certain people come into your life for a certain reason, certain people show up for certain things for certain reasons. So I'm going to disseminate some important information that could change your life. Some of this information changed my life. And I'm also going to make an amazing announcement about my company. So a lot of people ask, what does Nova Sound actually do? You might look around the room, thank you guys for wearing your Nova Sound t-shirts. I didn't ask anybody to wear those. They put those on. And if you don't have one, I'm going to go ahead and hook you guys up. Just make sure you text me. I'm going to hook you up with the color scheme of the album. So Uhuru is the name of the album. And Uhuru is Swahili for freedom. If you don't know, my dad's name is Swahili. Dad, what's his name Swahili for? Dad. What's your name Swahili for?
I'm sorry, what?
What's your name Swahili for?
Oh, my name means warrior iron language, Swahili.
8 years old and 6 years old. Yes. And he embraced me as his own. We know what happened to young black men who have no guidance, so I'm extremely grateful for you taking me on and treating me as your own, you know? For me, there's no difference. So thank you. So when I discovered what Uhuru meant in Swahili, I was like, this is only right. So right now, you can stream the album on my YouTube exclusively, G Nova Sound. It'll be available everywhere else January 1st when the ball drops. I'm extremely grateful for you guys coming out here today to support me. Uhuru Swahili for freedom, to be completely free. The concept of the album is freedom from emotional prison, freedom from financial prison, and most importantly, freedom from mental prison. There's a lot of things set out to trap us. And from the time I left Full Sail, from the time I left this area, I was trapped in a lot of different things. And being able to free myself out of those things, I feel like it's my mission to share my story with people and also liberate young people, liberate young professionals, and get everybody to a point where they're free and they can pursue their dreams. So it's deeper than rap. The rap is just a billboard, you know? It's deeper than the likes you get on social media, okay? That's just an ad. That's just you advertising. Let me take a sip. Breaks down into, a lot of people ask me, well, what does the company actually do? Nova Sound breaks down into, what's up, my man? Good to see you, bro. What's up, bro? My guys are in the building. A lot of people that I had issues with in the past are in the building, so I'm really grateful for you guys.
Nah, for real.
So Nova Sound breaks down into 4 divisions, soon to be 6 divisions. Okay, Nova Sound Pro, which is my record label and post-production company. I've had the opportunity to work on 7 films. One has won 12 independent film awards. Nova Sound Technology, which is an audio technology company in which I sell soundware, software, hardware. Nova Sound Live, which is an event production company. I know he's a controversial figure. I've had the opportunity to do audio for Donald Trump twice and several governors all around the country. And Nova Sound and G Nova Sound, which is who I am, public speaker, motivational speaker, published poet, and music composer. So that's how the album breaks down. That's how the company breaks down. I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/G Nova Sound. There's some videos on here that probably make my mom a little upset. Because when I was 17, I was very vulgar. But it was part of my journey, and I don't want to hide that. So those videos are still up. I have a playlist. Uhuru's up right now. It's 19. It starts with a video, and then it goes to the 18 tracks. The tracks I'm going to play you guys tonight. So make sure you hop on my YouTube channel. All right, so my story really begins with, my path to freedom really began with 2017, right? 2017, there was a hurricane coming. They called it Hurricane Irma, and they said it was going to be bad. And at this point, I woke up. I was $70,000 in debt one morning, and I went outside, and I knew the hurricane was going to be bad because all the animals had left. If the animals are gone, you should probably get going too. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is something's going to happen here. I need to make a move, make a change just in my life. I was fortunate enough to have some family in Orlando, some of my mom's family in Orlando, that I could go stay with, and I went and stayed with them. But when I come back, I said, I have to take care of this. I have been studying financial freedom. What does it really take to go from owing all this money and living check to check to being, you know, what you see on TV, to being financially free, what you don't see on TV, because you don't necessarily see that. So then I got focused. I'm going to go ahead and start with my backstory. 2014, I became a published poet in a 2014 edition of Who's Who in American Poetry. I published a poetry called Black Rhino Soul Poetry. The black rhino is the first animal to go extinct in my lifetime. It's an African black rhino. He went extinct, and I thought that was kind of synonymous for what African Americans go through today. It just seemed to line up so perfectly, and the poem got selected to be published. So that was really the beginning of my professional career. I have had the amazing opportunity to work for an organization called A Motivational Edge and be a youth mentor. I had no idea that mentoring young people and being the mentor, hey, how you doing, cuz? You can come in. Food is to the left, drinks is to the right, okay? I had an amazing opportunity to give young people the opportunity that I didn't have. Like, I didn't have somebody show me how to record. I was just putting stuff together and figuring it out. But to be that light for them and keep them out of the streets, keep them out of getting into the wrong thing, it's just been so fulfilling. I had no idea it was going to be such an amazing thing for me to take my skill set and teach these kids. I've been doing that for about 4 years. And shout out to my cousin Jim, because your story's amazing too, you know, and you being a youth mentor and a youth pastor, you definitely light the way for so many young people. Sometimes you impact people and you'll never see them again. You'll never know how much of an impact you've made on a young person. What's up, Ramsey? Good to see you, bro. And food's to the left, drinks to the right, bro. Okay? So like I said, and then Young Jeezy came out a few weeks ago. That was really dope. Because Jeezy sat and talked to the young people. A lot of them don't know who he is, but they knew he was somebody because the older crowd is like, yo, Jeezy's in the building. Haha, we all excited. You know, so that's how that went. Shout out to Jeezy. So aside from the mixtapes I released while I was in grade school, I've had the opportunity to work on, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. These first 5 are community projects that I worked on with young people in foster care. 12, and then Uhuru makes 13. So my record label has published, at this point, 13 different albums. I've been making royalties since I was like 12 years old. So that's really the dopest part, that I figured out how to monetize my craft early in the game, you know? And a big part of my mission is teaching other young people how to do the same thing. It's been such an amazing ride. You know, outside of I started at Full Sail and I've been able to go so many places and liberate so many young people, work for so many different people. It's been such an amazing ride. I can't even tell you guys. I could probably talk all day about how amazing it is, because this is the same career I dreamed of. You know, I didn't limit my dream, and that's my advice to everybody. If you want to do one thing, it's okay to do something that's associated with it and put it together. Don't limit your dream. Your dream doesn't have any limits, okay? And I didn't limit my dream, and it's just led me to so many different things. I could list them all, but I don't want to do that. I just want to speak from the heart and let you guys know how grateful I really am to be at this point at 27. Now I want to talk about you. So I know we got a lot of young professionals in the room. It's a lot of things they didn't teach us in school, like how to do our taxes. They just taught us how to be good employees and how to get jobs. And half of them didn't do a good job at that. Okay? So let's talk about you. I've spent the past 7 years of my life mastering everything on this chart. And this isn't limited to the young people in the room either. This is everybody, okay? They said, get to $1 million. They never told us how. They just said, millionaire. And then they showed us all these people on TV that owed more money than they could ever make in their lives. So it took me a while. Shout out to, if you see 4 Steps to Freedom inspired by Dave Ramsey. Financial freedom, the formula is assets minus liabilities. How much do you own versus how much do you owe? It took 2 years after that hurricane in 2017, now it's 2019, 2 years of intense focus and me making sacrifices, me seeing everyone else have a great time and purchase all the things they couldn't afford, and me staying focused. Right? Me going on social media fast to now be at a point where I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Okay? So assets minus liabilities. What is assets? Well, for one, your mind. Your mind is an extraordinary asset. Your liabilities are typically things you owe on or things that cost you money. So perspective is important. Your assets need to outweigh your liabilities. For a lot of people, for me, I feared looking at my student loan for far too long. Had I just looked at it and understood what I was doing at 20 years old, I could have taken care of it. What's a good example of an asset? Well, a wristwatch that you don't owe any money on, you can go liquidate it today and somebody probably give you a little money for it. I would call that an asset. Your education, your job, any liquid savings, anything that you can sell. Liabilities, things you owe money on. The why is very, very important. Because when you get to an opportunity when you can do things to impact people, it's important. So for me, and this is what I feel like most people's why are. Financial freedom, dream chasing. We all have something we want to do. And money typically is the main reason why we can't do it. Whether it's an excuse or reality, it's typically the reason why we can't do it. And to help others. It's not about all of the things you own and all the things you have. It's about the people that you make an impact on. That's the most important thing. Pay attention to how much you spend versus how much you make. It's really, really important. That's the beginning of the formula to being financially free. The phases of your career. The development phase, most of us enter the development phase around like 14 years old when you discover what you really want to do. I'm really thankful to have the parents I have because they never limited me. They never limited me. Even when my music was vulgar and I was trying to wage war on my own people, they never told me to stop. They supported my dreams. It was from the beginning, my parents understood that I was in my development phase. Once I entered my growth stage, I was already at school. The breakthrough stage takes a long time. For the young professional, it takes a long time. Most people quit in between phase 2 and 3. But if you quit, you'll never make it to stage 4, which is the abundance stage. Okay? And the phases of your career are synonymous with the 4 steps to financial freedom. $1,000 for emergencies is important so that you don't have to rely on credit. Not saying that credit is bad. That's your opinion. I don't personally feel like it's bad. Some people will say it was good. Some people will tell you it's bad. But having wake up one morning and being $30,000 in credit card debt, it seemed pretty bad at that point. I wanted to cut all my credit cards up, right? But that was a lack of self-control. So save $1,000 for emergencies. That's the first step to the 4 steps to freedom inspired by Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who Dave, I know I got a few college students in here. I got a few high school students in here. Guys, don't get out of control with credit. Don't get out of control with financing things. It's going to set you back so far. Jerry, don't finance this car. Go with a used car. It could have saved me years of working hard. I'm trying to save you guys years right now, okay? Save $1,000 for emergencies. Pay off your debt. If you're young and you're in college right now and all you have to worry about is your college debt when you get out, or you might not have to worry. You might be on scholarship when you get out. Don't finance anything, okay? Go hit step 1, ignore step 2, or pay off step 2 as soon as possible and get to step 3. Once you get to a point of having 3 to 6 months of expenses in your savings account, you will notice a type of freedom that most people do not experience, okay? And step 3 goes straight to step 4. Does anybody have any questions? That's the strategy right there to financial freedom, to absolute financial freedom. And that's the concept of the album. So now let's get into the album. So freedom from emotional prison. As young people, this is a process. Because we fall in love with people and then we fall out of love with people, but most importantly, the most important thing is falling in love with yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself before you fall in love with anybody. Otherwise, it's always going to end up in a catastrophe. Freedom from financial prison. Finances can be a prison for your entire life. And that's why it's very, very important that you get a hold of this in your 20s. Because if you can get a hold of this, to everybody in this room who's in their 20s, if you can get a hold of this in your 20s, you can be free and you can help people. This is about helping people. It's not about, yes, you can have whatever you want. But if you can't help anybody, like my aunt said, it's about that dash in between your name. And freedom from mental prison. It's going to be available to stream everywhere January 1st on all platforms. Right now, it's available exclusively on my YouTube channel. We're going to get into the album. Thank you guys for coming out.